Welcome to my inn, the Carriage Rest Inn, a place where the bard has tales that spin. As our weary travelers struggle to find their role in this world divided with souls that are full. Trust, confusion, loyalty are a greater foe than any arrow sprung from a bow. Who is dark, who is light, a constant battle over who is right. Listen as we begin here at the Carriage Rest Inn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Carriage Rest Tales. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Mike, and to my left we have...
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ryan. I'll be playing Vimus, which is a concoction of Nomus and Vive, and he is a bard rogue at this point.
Hey everybody, this is Nick. I will be playing Vaso, the half-orc barbarian.
Hey guys, it's Sam, and I'm playing Woods, the elven paladin ranger, who has been stripped of all of her powers.
All right, before we get started, I need Vasa to roll a D100 and tell me the result.
All right.
Loses his right hand.
28.
For those of you not in the studio, Ryan is slowly mouthing to Michael
Something.
a text message.
I texted you.
Passing notes. Passing notes like 8th grade.
Do you like me, yes or no?
Dear
Yes.
Michael,
Yeah, if you want
You
to
do?
play that, yeah.
circle
Cool.
yes.
All right.
Yes or no.
And then people circle maybe or.
Or.
Ugh.
All right, what happened last time, guys?
We got a dragon.
Yeah, we did one of our random encounters because we decided to go on foot through the volcanic region. Vaso charged in to save a dragon.
Dragon
A little
named
klepto-dragon.
A
Soph.
little klepto dragon likes shiny things.
Also, I think we kind of forgot that, at least I know I forgot that, like, we weren't just going to go get things done. I think we were such at this, like, ramp up from the last season that we were getting stuff done, and now we're kind of in this, like, new stage. I just assumed we were going to, like, just find Vaso's dad, like, that episode.
Just turn around and be like, there you are.
Yeah. There's his lookalike and his dad, like, let's go kill the boss, and realizing, like, oh, no, we have some time in front of us to get some stuff done.
How many people of yours do we need to go find?
All of them.
Just dad, your
Just my dad.
Dad.
your alternate.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Andy gets a dragon.
And I get a dragon.
You get a flute.
Do you guys remember where the doppelganger's
A, Nomus had some stuff going on. He's got a whole other personality going on. He lost his lyre. Yeah, I think he deserves a flute.
He does deserve a flute.
All right, do you guys remember where you're going?
We're going through the caves of the mountains.
I got that part, but what's your final destination?
Are we going to Kamachi?
Yes.
Komachi.
All right, so you guys are heading to Kamachi, which you know is in the mountains on Quiet Ridge Mountains, which is kind of like the center of the continent. So there really wasn't a fast way to get there, but you did know it was on the other side of the line of fire. And where we last left off, Sophie's cave, you realized, had a lot of stuff from Tanois, which was on the other side. So you put together pretty quickly that this cave goes through the mountains. So you don't need to go up and over. You can just take Soph's cave and move through the mountains.
Great.
I do need Woods to roll a history check, though. Woods is very confused.
0.
She's way too enthralled with this dragon and flute.
Yes, exactly.
I rolled a 1 and I have a -1.
You get a little distracted with everything around you, and you're just looking around and not thinking anything.
Soph and I are just hanging out. Like, I understand I can't actually speak to her like other people in our party can speak to her, but her and I are creating our own little relationship.
Okay. You guys gonna do anything before you head out towards Kamachi? You know that it's gonna probably be about a 2-week walk through the countrysides.
Can we just recap real quick? So we're going to Kamachi to find Theron. That's what Vive kind of put together. Kill the dwarves.
What was your old character's name?
Korgon.
Vive sent Korgon.
Okay, so he didn't send Theron.
Yes, he sent
jeez.
Korgon
Okay.
to go kill the dwarves in the Ivana city of Kamachi. Well, he said to go fell the pillar in Kamachi, but leave no survivors.
So why are we heading there again?
Because that's where we think Vaso's doppelganger is. And we think that he's going to be on our
where
side.
the dad is to get into
Yeah.
Iron Mist.
Iron Mist.
Yep.
And
Okay,
it's the only.
sorry.
No, it's fine. We also don't know what we're gonna find when we get there, so it's a lead, and we're going there.
All
Okay.
right, so I'm looking at this flute.
Yep.
So it seems pretty magical.
Yeah, it's
Like,
got
it's
some
just-
magical abilities.
I think I'm looking at it, and I know how to play the flute.
Yep.
But there's like 3 extra finger
Buttons.
holes that I've never noticed before on a regular flute. So I'm playing my notes, and then I hit one of them.
Okay. Which one did you hit?
I guess Cure Wounds.
Okay. So you get to cast Cure Wounds on somebody,
Ooh,
yourself included.
Who's down?
I'm healthy as a horse.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
cast a spell and you realize that there are some magical properties to
Cool.
the flute. I'm going to say at this point, since you just picked it up, you don't know exactly what each of the spells are.
Okay.
But over the course of the next day, while you're playing, you're getting attuned to it, it'll come to you.
How am I feeling otherwise?
You feel a lot. You had mentioned that when Vimus plays, the Nomus part of him kind of comes out a little bit more. So you guys would see Vimus starting to get a little bit more of a pep in his step, more jolly, jovial.
Singing, dancing.
Yep. Kind of acting a little bit more like the Nomus that you guys remember from your good old days.
I picture it's just like trudging down this cave tavern with like a dragon and a flute, like doo-doo-doo.
I mean,
like,
it's weird, guy.
whistling.
I don't feel vibe at all right now.
you're just so connected with the Nomus in you, and you
Yeah,
need to stay connected to that part.
I mean, it's kind of freeing.
I'm digging
And
it.
I think I just give y'all hugs because, it's the first time he's.
Doesn't feel like he's going to also then stab them.
Yeah.
yeah, that's refreshing.
All right. So
All right, cool.
we'll say it takes you about 2 hours of walking through the caves. Soph does an easy job guiding you out, and you kind of pick up that this is a trail that he normally takes.
Okay.
And you get out into a top of a mountain. You can look out and you just see kind of rolling hills. You can see a large capital city, Tanoas, out in the distance. And that would be the Centaur capital. And they're known for like their beer, wine, hops. So you kind of see like the rolling hop fields and stuff like that. But you know that your destination would be more southwest.
All right, who's leading this parade?
Sorry, southeast.
So Vasta's gonna ask Soph like what their relationship with the centaurs.
I assume you're just going to maintain your speak with animals. We'll just say it that way. Since you don't cast spells, we'll just say that's always active for you at this point. Soph would let you know.
I think we need to hear it in Soph's voice.
Oh, okay. The centaurs, they're so fun. They play fetch with me all the time. And then we have drinks together. And they're pretty nice, but then occasionally I'll help them like pull plows and stuff like that. And they'll give me snacks for that, which is awesome. And then when they're not looking, I usually will take some like shovels and some of the coins that they might leave around and, some of the scythes that they use to cut their... I don't know if they notice or not, but it seems to be going well, and they are all excited.
Do you guys want to stop there, or do you want to just go straight to, or just bypass it?
I mean, I feel like we got some stuff to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for us to.
Yeah, I'm assuming
go
you
down
want to
there.
find your other half and your father.
Okay.
This is all about you, bud.
No, this
Yeah.
is your show. We're just here looking pretty.
We're in the season of Vaso.
Yeah, we'll just bypass the city and
Oh, I
Go
haven't
on.
gone past the city. This is going to be so exciting to see what's out there. I'm so excited. So we're going to go north,
southeast.
southeast. Oh, that's even better. That's away from the water. There's probably more shinies inland. I'm excited.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you guys leave the cave. It's starting to be a little bit dawn, and you start heading down to the southeast, kind of breaking the new light. And you travel for, let's say, about an hour, and then you start hearing footsteps running towards you. Well, you hear footsteps. You can't tell if they're running towards you. They're kind of running erratic, but they're getting louder.
Woods is gonna pull her bow,
Okay.
and I want to do a perception check. 24.
You kind of are in the foresty area, and you sense that there is a small sounding footprints, but then behind it is a couple of larger, heavier footprints.
Can I tell which way they're coming from?
They are eventually moving closer to you guys.
But like, are they coming from behind, up front?
I mean, you're turned to face them, so they're coming
Okay.
up towards you from the south.
I'm gonna quickly scale the closest tree up, kind of out of sight.
Okay. What are you two doing?
I think Nomus is just being Nomus and is oblivious, and he's still playing his flute, just having a good time.
Vaso?
Vasa's going to pull out his sword and, kind of ready in action.
All right, sounds good. As you guys ready your action, you just all get down kind of in a stance, except for Nomus, who's playing a flute. And a half orc, just comes running through the field. And he's like looking behind him. Something's chasing him. You see like trees falling down. And then he's like just turns and sees Vaso and then just like stumbles, tries to stop, but he's moving too fast and just like face plants on his face. And then from behind him in the woods, you see two big grizzly bears just come bounding out, and they're going to go up to slash this half-orc. I'll give you guys one round of action before I let the grizzly bears go.
Are they real grizzly bears or Genoa?
They are real grizzly bears.
Oh my gosh, we haven't fought something real. One last question.
Maybe?
This orc that's coming through, like, does it look like a normal citizen? Does it look mischievous? Like, can I really tell? I can't tell.
You can't really tell. It looks exhausted and sweating.
All right, I'm going to shoot an arrow into the grizzly bear on the left.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Hits.
8 damage.
Okay.
I'm going to do again. 18.
Hits.
10 damage.
All right. So you pump 2 arrows into the first grizzly bear. It kind of stalls out a little bit and puts its paw down, just trying to look around to find you. Nomus, what are you doing?
I think I look up and see these 2 huge grizzly bears coming at us, and I blow really hard into my flute and accidentally cast thunderclap at them.
Okay, sounds good.
So you create a burst of thunderous sound, which can be heard 100 feet away. Each creature other than you within 5 feet must make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. You roll 2 of those. A 4, and then a crit success. So one's going to pass, the other's going to fail. The one that failed is the one that just got hit with arrows.
Okay, so it takes 2d6 thunder damage.
And it's pushed back 10 feet.
No,
Oh, okay.
not on thunderclap.
I'm thinking.
But it can be heard 100 feet away. So
Okay, I'm thinking thunder wave.
Okay, so he just takes 2d6. 8.
8.
I barely hit him.
Early. You do see.
These jokes are unbearable.
You do see the half orc on the ground kind of get hit with a little bit of damage, and it puts its hands up to his ears from the loud shockwave, since he is within 5 feet of the bears also.
Okay.
Vaso,
How far away is the orc?
I'm going to say he passed you and then fell.
Okay.
So the bears are between you, which are maybe 7 feet in front of you.
Okay.
And then, then he'd be on the other side of the bears. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm going to go up to the one on the right.
Okay.
And
The one that hasn't been hit yet.
yeah, I'm going to try to flank him a little bit
Okay.
and then just
Swing away.
swing away. Oh, a 6.
6 is going to miss.
I'm going to try again.
Crit fail?
Another 6.
6. Okay. Nothing. No hits. No crit fails on that, though? Just
No.
2s?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. What
2
is
2s. 2 2s.
What is Soph doing?
Soph is going to float up a little bit and then do fire breath.
All right. Some crispy.
Yeah. At the bears, the dragon exhales fire in a 15-foot cone. Each creature in the area must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. Takes 76 damage, fire damage, on a failed and half of that.
7d6?
7d6. Yep. All right. So one failed, one passed. The one that's, I'm going to say the one that's taking damage is going to be the one that fails. Since it's not moving too quickly right now.
Okay.
And one passes. So the one that passes takes half damage, I believe.
Yep.
Bear
Can
Can I
barbecue.
just, can I just do
Kodiak
that 24?
Yeah, you can use the 24.
Okay, so 24 and 12.
I'm going to have Vasa roll a dexterity saving throw too. You're behind the bear, so you're not going to get hit with as much. But
17.
17, so take 6 damage, just a half of a half, as you were kind of expecting it. So you used the bear to block it, but you still got singed a little bit from the heat, we'll say. One bear is just down, it's burning. I'm going to say the meadow forest area that you're in right now catches on fire.
Oh no.
And the other bear is not quite sure what to do, but it only has one target that's within range that is attacking it. So it's going to turn and attack Vaso twice. A 16 to hit and a 15 to hit.
16 hits and 15 meets.
All right, so 12 piercing on the first one, 10 piercing on the second one. So 22 piercing total.
Powerful bears.
And then from then it's probably, I'm going to say its tail gets lit on fire. So it goes, ah, and then starts running away. So you would have an attack of opportunity, Vaso, if you wanted to.
I think I'm just going to let it go.
Okay. And then the bear runs away, trailing smoke, but he ran fast enough that the fire got put out, at least on the bear. But you guys do have a fire kind of going on in this meadow.
I'm going to pull out my rapier and see if I can gust. See if I have enough wind.
I can gust.
So we're just gusting, see if we can
Can we because I don't want to
like gust towards the center.
So kind of push it together.
Can we
Yeah.
make a cyclone?
You can do that. It takes you guys a little bit of practice to figure it out. And basically what you end up doing is it's a fire breaking technique anyways. So you have the fire burns itself out. So it's used all that fuel and then you push the fire back that direction from both sides.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So it doesn't have anything to burn. So it goes out.
Yeah.
Crisis averted.
Just call us firefighters.
Osaf, what are you doing up here? Is everything okay? Did they give up the assault?
What? My name's not Osaf. I'm Vasto.
I don't understand, Osaf. Are you using a alias?
No, I think you're...
You sent me up here to look for the Iron Mist. I can confirm that it's not in this northern territory. Why?
Okay, do you know where the Iron Mist is?
Maybe one of the other scouts has found it.
You said one of the other scouts have found it?
I'm not sure. I've been up. You tasked me to come north and scout, try to find it. I decided to check on the Ivana side to see if it somehow came over and then got attacked by these crazy animals. Do you need me back at?
No, just continue on your mission.
Okay, I'll continue to look for the Iron Mist, sir, and I'll if I find it, I will come back and let you know. Where can I find you? I thought you were going to be staying at the front lines.
I'll be back there. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Can you remind me again where the front lines are?
Are you asking?
I'm just not really looking at anybody. I'm just trying to play dumb as if I'm
gotcha.
Yeah.
part of the
Woods
crew
is-
that's just like,
Woods
what's
is gonna jump down out of a tree, kind of behind this orc.
I see you found some new allies. That's
Hi.
maybe. Are you up here recruiting? I guess.
Yeah, I am.
So Kamachi,
Can you fill them in on where the front lines are?
and then I assume you pretend to go do something else.
Yeah.
Kamachi. Are you here to accompany my master to Kamachi?
Yeah, he asked us for help and seemed like a worthy cause. But
Clearly, you don't know who we are.
I'm not sure of the master's allies. I was sent out weeks ago, so I'm not sure how he's even here.
Oh, well, we're two of the best assassins you've ever met in your life.
Oh, he's recruiting assassins. That's good. So when he finds the Iron Mist, he can send you guys in to take care of the Night Circle.
Absolutely.
and I'm just gonna play a little bit on my flute. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and like bow.
So
Kind of looks at you like a little cockeyed, like, I don't know how assassins work. That seems weird, but
that flute is very dangerous. Silent at times, but very dangerous. So these front lines in Kamachi, they're on this side, or are we going to Dorma?
well, I guess you should know that our front lines are in Dorma to keep the Iron Mist at bay.
Yeah.
I don't know why they want to fell these cities, but we want a piece of that action.
Yeah, and the Night Circle. Tell me
Yes,
about that.
They got too much power.
Yeah,
They're consolidating. That's never a good thing.
that's never a good thing. You're right.
As the great orc tribes decide, everybody should be isolated. Only the strong can survive. It's unfair when they start to gather.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I get paid to give pain. So when he says shoot, I shoot. I'm not really interested in the backstory.
Good.
So, boss says front lines are in Kamachi.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't that where we're heading?
That is where we're heading.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I assume you're heading there to wait till we find the iron mist. Vaso, as you are looking around and trying to like pretend that you're doing something so that he keeps talking to your allies, you feel a sharp pain like in your shoulder and then goes like across your chest. Kind of like you got hit with a sword. And you're like, same thing as before when you had that spear that got hit in the front of you. You see a human in front of you with the sword that just like slashes across from you. And you guys see Vaso kind of step back, look down, and kind of like trying to hold his insides together basically, and then falls unconscious. So go ahead and drop to 0 hit points.
Can I go lay hands on him immediately? I'm going to run up and...
Well, I'm going to first have Vasa do a death saving throw.
Wow.
Okay.
Have fun rolling up a new character. It's a good time.
Yeah, his name's Osage.
13.
13. Okay, so you feel somebody behind you pulling on you. And then in this kind of weird vision that you're having trouble because like you're in the forest, but you're smelling fire. Like you're smelling the burnt smoke. And then you feel yourself getting dragged, but like you're seeing another orc kind of over top of you pulling you as this human figure is kind of snarling at you, being pushed back by the front line of other orcs. Like you're seeing yourself in a battle that's not going on, but you do start to feel a little bit better because of your save. Now you can do your...
Yeah. He dropped to the ground, so I'm going to run up and I'm going to lay hands on him and give him probably 10 hit points to see if I can like bring him back.
Yep. He definitely comes back up with 10 hit points. That vision you're seeing kind of goes away and you're kind of back to your senses again. My lord, are you okay? What happened? And he's kind of... You see that the half-orc scout's got his like daggers out, like dual-wielding daggers. He doesn't know like which person to look at. He doesn't know what's going on.
Woods is going to step in front of him and push him back with her bow and be like, back up. Can't you see he needs some space?
But what happened to him? What did you do?
Nothing. We've done absolutely nothing to him. And you don't need to know. You need to take us right now to Camacho. Right now. Don't look at him. Look at me. Let's go.
I only take orders from the master.
Well, you're taking orders from me right now.
We have to go there now.
Okay, it's probably a 1.5 week journey, but I can lead you there.
Let's go. Great. Go.
Okay. I guess, can you walk, sir?
Yeah. And I'll get up and shake off and we'll get going.
I'll play my flute for you again.
Woods is going to stay in between this guy and Vaso the entire time.
Okay. Sounds good.
You can do another 1d8 plus 7. 7 seems high.
7 does seem high, but...
No, mine's 7.
Oh, okay, maybe because I think your proficiency gets added to it, so maybe that's why.
Okay. So 1d8 plus 7. Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Cool.
I'm going to give you...
It's a good use of my flute.
Yeah,
Are these charges short rest or
I
long?
think we were doing short rest for those.
Okay.
Could we... I would assume at some point we're going to get a short rest over this journey.
Yeah, you definitely would get a short rest at least once over the trip. There would probably... I mean, if you're going to push on and try to get there faster, you won't get short rests, but I assume at least one of the nights, 2 of the nights, you'd be like, okay, we really need to rest.
Mm-hmm. And I think during one of our short rests, I would ask Vaso, like, what happened? Like, what did you see?
I think my other side got hurt really bad in battle, and they're at the front lines. That's why we have to get there.
And I think maybe Nomus would start to connect his interactions with Vive. I'm sure he had the same or similar type of experience.
I would say that when Vasa was talking about like the overlapping, he was seeing the forest, but seeing a battlefield, that would have had lots of reminiscence to Nomus when he was getting the injections of Vive's blood. Like you're seeing both overlapping each other, which is hard to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Woods, as you guys are walking, so still that first day, you get Vaso and Nomus are talking to each other. Woods, you're trying to like look back and forth, kind of keep an eye out. You're kind of taking up lead with the scout, trying to keep an eye on him too. And as you're walking away, you keep getting this irritable, like, only thing I can think about is when Harry Potter's been wearing the Horcrux for too long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And then in your background, you hear your goddess's voice. Woods, why do you flee? Castrume's the other way, the other side of the charcoal sea. Go there. Fell the great pillar. Help the citizens of Dorma be free. Why do you delay? What's the worth of one orc? He'll likely die before you reach him anyways. Forget him. Forget Clyde. Forget Vaso. Help us. The greater good demands it.
So Woods kind of like, as she's walking, zones out a bit and tries to respond. And I feel like she's been trying to like shake this, like this conversation, because she's been trying to keep it at bay because she can feel it coming and coming. And it finally it kind of just takes over her. And you hear her audibly out loud say, no, we need them. We need him. Like, I will do what you want, but I'm going to do it my way. And I need their help because together we're stronger and we can do more. So trust me to do it my way, but I promise I'll do it.
You don't really hear a response from your goddess, but as you begin to question your goddess, in your mind's eye, you see the image of a floating ember floating in darkness.
That means something.
I'm assuming it does.
And then we'll say you guys set up camp for one of the nights.
That night,
Have the rest of your conversations and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I
with the
think I would
information
ask
given.
Woods what was going on because I've been the outburst guy here lately.
Yeah.
And now Vaso's getting connected. You're doing something.
I'm going to pull Vimus kind of the outskirts, we're pretending to pick up firewood or something, always keeping kind of one eye on the orc, and just explain that I'm fighting with my god. Lucia wants us to go to Castrune and fell the Pellar, and I'm to free the people, right? To like break this spell and free the people, but we've had this conversation. I don't know if that's the right move, but also I trust her because she brought me here and she gave me this power. And she did that for a reason. So deep down, I do trust her and I want to make her happy. I'm just hoping that we can figure a couple things out first.
Well, what do you think the hurry is? Like, why is there such a rush now to do this last pillar? Like, we've been in this for years now. Like, I think they can wait
I think the gods
a little while longer before,
I think the
we
gods
do
are
anything.
getting antsy, and
Well, they're gods. Like, what do they have to be?
I
They're eternal, right?
I know, and I don't like the thoughts I'm having, and I'm confused, and I'm trying to figure it out because I'm so torn.
Why do they need us to do it?
Evidently, we are the only ones that can.
Well, it sounds like they need to wait because I agree that our friend's more important.
I think, but I also think if we're going to go do that, if we're going to create this catastrophe, we need to have more people than the three of us on our side. Mm-hmm. And I think Vaso's dad is a part of that. And I'm really hoping that Vaso's other half can be an ally. But I'll be honest, the conversation with the orc and that the orc tribes want to keep people segregated and separated. What was that?
Yeah. Well, they're also fighting the Night Circle, so they can't be too happy with whatever they're doing either.
A part of me wants to walk to Castrune and knock the pillar down and just let everyone collide into each other. And a part of me wants to stop me from doing that. Well,
if we do that, then Vaso may no longer be with us. And I think I'm committed at this point to saving Vaso since you all were so committed to saving me. If you want to go there, I don't want you to go by yourself, but...
No, we need to...
what's a couple more weeks before we get more allies, find more information, and then decide if this pillar destruction is worth it.
What's going to walk away from the conversation kind of abruptly.
And I guess we're done.
And just gonna spend some time meditating, right? And doing her prayers and the things that she normally does to Lucia to kind of gain back a little bit favor. And you're gonna find her over the next couple of weeks really try to stay in her paladin groove and stay committed and dedicated to Lucha, even though she's having the thoughts that she's having.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point you can still feel your goddess, but you know that she's upset that you're going the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Vimus has expressed, why are the gods in a rush? You start thinking that same kind of question. You get a sense from your goddess that there's forces conspiring against them. She can't necessarily tell you what that is, but that's like a sense, a feeling of dread that you're getting from her.
Okay.
Vaso doing anything by the fire?
He's gonna bandage himself up and use some hit dice.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, here, let me play my flute
Das Blut.
and give you another 1d8 when you use your hit dice.
In real life, I am so torn as to what my character's going to do.
Okay,
that it is
I'm happy.
it's giving me anxiety. I just want to let you know.
I mean,
Not as happy about that part, but
I know.
I'm torn with like this whole Vimus thing. Like, you know, we all have these like inner like
this is
mental struggles.
too much. I hope the listeners can feel like our complete just
Feel our pain,
panic
listeners.
over here. I'm like, this is not fun anymore. Do I save this imaginary world, or
just let it
like
burn.
it's not real?
If y'all have
But it
any
feels-
suggestions, you can reach us
Yeah,
at.
I know.
Podcast at
Yeah.
carriagetales.com.
Follow us and it's DM me on what I should do.
It's like a choose your own adventure podcast. If
Text
you want
me
the
for
if you want
those-
the group to just screw Vaso, then
For those of you who have my phone number, please text me and tell me what I should do. Hey guys, it's Sam. We just want to thank you so much for spending the last couple of seasons with us. We understand that you can do absolutely anything with your time, and we appreciate so much that you actively choose to spend an hour or so with us a couple times a month. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it. We'd love you to check out our website at carriageresttales.com. If you haven't already, we'd love you to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Better yet, text it to a friend. Share the love that you have for our podcast and the love that we have for you with those in your life. We'd really appreciate it. And once again, thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy the story.
The next morning, you guys awake, break down camp. You start heading out, and you run into a river. But luckily, luckily your
Came out of
guide,
nowhere.
luckily your guide's like, we just need to follow the river for, half a day, and then there's a bridge that we can cross. As you're going down the river, though, you notice that there is a road on the other side. And about 2 hours into your walk, you start to hear sounds of combat. You look forward and you see dust kind of getting kicked up. You see a bow staff fighting off some Denoa, but something draws you to the bow staff, and you start realizing that it's familiar to you. There is a turtle that is fighting off some Denoa on the other side of the river.
Quentin.
Quentin! I'm going to pull my bow, and I'm going to hit the Denoa. Like, I see Quentin, and it's happening.
So let's describe what the Denoa looks like.
31.
Does that take you off your -2 penalty
Yes,
that
it
hurt you
does.
so much?
All right, so let's describe this Denoa creature that you're seeing. So the Denoa creature,
Is dead.
not dead, no.
Gonna be.
The Denoa creature is probably about the size of, let's say, 2 elephants.
Wallace.
No, not Wallace, but that'd be
R.I.P.
yeah, about the size of 2 elephants, but mushed together in a form that's not solid, like
Look, it's morphing.
morphing, kind of like a ooze of sorts.
Oh. Well, it has 23 less hit points now.
Okay, sounds good. It did take that shot. It
I
has
took both shots.
23. You said?
Yep.
Okay.
How do we get there? Guys, it's Quentin. It's Quentin. And I'm gonna like elbow Vaso in the ribs.
The river at this point is probably about 60 feet across. It's not moving slow, but it's not moving swiftly either. Like it's a average speed. You know that you can swim across it if you want to.
Quentin taught me how to swim.
Quentin did teach
So
how to swim.
I am jumping in and I'm swimming towards my turtle friend.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll some initiative just so I have idea on trackers here.
And Woods dies in the river.
Yep, it's eaten by...
Alligator. I have 7.
14.
10.
All right, 14, 10, 7. That's funny. That's in the order. My big monster got a 17, so it's going to go first. Quentin and the monster are going to go together. And then my little monsters that you guys haven't seen yet are going to go at 8. That makes sense. They're at the bottom. All right, so we'll pick up. Woods just dove into the river. You guys are on the bank and you see Quentin hit this monster with a bow strike or a quarterstaff strike. It does some damage. You see it vibrating. I don't know. And then you see the monster attack Quentin, but out of nowhere, like a shield appears in Quentin's arm and kind of takes the block. So he's kind of fighting with the shield and a quarterstaff. And that brings us up to Vaso.
Vaso is, he doesn't know what to do. He's looking at the river like he wants to cross, but he's not sure he's going to be able to make it. So he's kind of sitting there watching Wood swim, see if she's struggling at all or whatnot. Like kind of like watching, her go first.
Gotcha.
Are you a strong swimmer? You're not a swimmer,
We
are
established he wasn't.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't you sink to the bottom on something?
He didn't sink, but he wasn't very confident swimming in the ocean with Kincaid.
Yeah, that's right.
Now maybe he learned how to swim in his month adventure, but
Doesn't sound like it.
that doesn't sound like Boss's MO.
Yeah.
Boss, what do you need me to do?
Let's just sit tight for now. Let me figure this out.
I'll go downstream a little bit and see if I can get some more intel.
Okay.
And you see the scout kind of sneak off downstream a bit. I picture like a ranger rogue type build for this guy. Vimus,
How wide's the river?
about 60 feet.
All right, I hate to use it, but I'm going to cast Dimension Door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to teleport myself. Well, is the elephant between me and Quentin?
No. So it's about 60 feet across and then about, we'll say, another 80 feet down the river. So it's quite a ways away still.
So I can teleport within 500 feet.
And you can definitely make it to Quentin and the monster.
Okay, can I teleport on the other side of the monster?
I'm going to say you're going to have to use your movement to move downriver to get the right angle to be able to see behind the monster. But then you can.
So can I use a bonus action to dash down the river and then cast Dimension Door to appear behind the monster?
Yep, you can do that.
Cool.
So Dimension Door would be your action. You did a bonus action dash, so you still have a movement if you wanted to. But I assumed you did your move bonus action to get line of sight, Dimension Door over.
Yes.
All right.
And hopefully this thing doesn't know I'm behind it.
It does not know you're there because you just
Teleported out of nowhere.
teleported out of nowhere. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
8.
8. I would say even with an 8, you do hear that there are sounds of combat coming from behind you also, but about another 50 feet down the road. You haven't turned around to see what it is yet, but you can, like when you teleported, you sense, there's battle in front of me. I can hear stuff going on behind me.
Got it. Okay.
Woods, you're in the river.
I'm swimming.
You're swimming. I'll say with the current and your swimming power, you can make it to the other side.
Great.
You'll have to fire your arrows from the water if you want to.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna swim up, and when it starts to get knee deep, I'm gonna start standing up, and I'm gonna knock my arrows, so I'm still in the water.
Okay. I'm going to give you disadvantage on it just because of the exhaustion of swimming, trying to shoot really quickly.
13
That one goes high.
and 22.
Yep. Yeah, so your first shot goes high, but then you readjust so you can hit the monster.
12 damage on that one.
Sounds good. Enemies. So the commotion going on behind Vimus, they're just exchanging blows. I'm not going to do anything with them until you guys start engaging with them. So that's going to bring me up to Quentin and the monster. Quentin is just exchanging blows with the monster. It doesn't know you're there yet, but you do see that what it's doing is it's forming its muscles or body into arms and then smacking with the arms. So he's doing fist attacks on Quentin. And you can see that he's getting this shield up. And now that you're close enough, you can see that it's a shield made of light.
That's cool.
And then as soon as he takes the impact, it dissipates again. So he doesn't have to physically keep holding it.
Didn't Vaso have something like that at one point?
Light shield.
A light shield, yep.
Okay.
And that brings us up to Vaso. You're watching. You see that Woods made it across.
Was it hard for her?
Woods is a strong swimmer, so it did not look difficult.
I made it look easy.
Okay.
Woods made it look
Like
easy.
Katie Ledecky in the pool.
Not quite as easy as Vimus just teleported to the other side, but
Do we have any idea how far that bridge is? Is it still a ways?
it would
Okay.
still be hours away.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and try to swim across.
Okay, sounds good. So you jump in the water. We've already established Vasa's not a strong swimmer. So you immediately just get pulled downstream and you're kind of flailing your arms up. And then you reach up trying to catch a breath and you feel some big old paws grab onto you as you see Soph just dragging you across the water. So your belly's just skimming across the top of it. And then they just drop you on the bank on the other side and then continue flying up. Kind of like, so Soph could carry your weight, but not easily,
Yeah.
is what you put it together.
Don't you have like a crown of flying or something?
Sure, I do.
I feel like we need like a big magical items that you have.
Yeah.
Can we get you a crown of fly? We need a piece of
You need
paper
some
prop.
paper.
You need a prop.
Just put something on your hat.
Yeah.
But yes, he does have a crown of flying from his mother.
Well, we
But
all
Soph
feel like
also helped.
I was like, just give Soap a rope.
Soph's wearing it. This
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the items that was stolen really early.
Shiny.
All right, so Vaso, you're on the other side. I will give you an action, but you're still about 80 feet from the monster in Quentin.
Yeah, he's just going to start walking out because he's just kind of baffled, like he almost drowned. And
Sounds good. So you make it about 30 feet, closing the distance. And that brings us up to Nomus. You are behind said monster.
Our other guys got to be like, who is this? Like, this is not
Osop.
All right. I'm attacking. Do I have advantage since I'm like...
Yes, you'll have advantage on this first strike because you are hidden. And I think the assassin gives you that feature.
Yeah, buddy.
You also obviously have your sneak attack.
Yep. So I get advantage 18.
18 hits.
Okay. So, as an assassin, any hit on a surprise target is critical.
Oh, yep. Okay.
So, does that count the sneak attack or no?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, automatically with my rapier, I do 12. Let me write this down.
Yeah, write it down and then tell me the total at the end.
So, this is just the critical part of it.
Yep, exactly.
And
do your
then
max damage for the
sneak attack was another 2d6.
another 12.
That's 24. And then
Now
I get to
Now
roll.
you roll it. Yep. Good roll so far.
So another 10. And then do I get another sneak attack on
You
top
do.
of that? Ballin'. Another 9. 34 plus 9 is 45.
45. All right. So you deal 45 damage as you do a big gash
That was my
slash all,
rapier, yeah, but yeah,
all
same,
across
yeah.
the back of it. It yells in pain. It's not dead, but it definitely is. You see like a shockwave go through it, and it is very upset.
As a bonus action, I'm going to hide. 27 on my stealth.
All right, perfect. Where are you hiding at? I assume you're going to run away and hide a bit. Because if you're just standing right behind it, it's not really hidden.
I don't know if there's like some trees or a boulder.
I'll say you'd have to get out of melee, but at this point it's not focused on you, so you easily stab it and then run. You don't have to do like disengage or anything.
Okay.
And you get behind some boulders.
Yep.
Luckily for you, you get behind some boulders because as soon as you get hit, you see an eye form just right on the back of this monster, and it starts gazing, looking for whatever just hit it.
Yeah.
But obviously doesn't see you because you moved out of the way.
Sweet.
Woods.
How does Quentin look?
Quentin, you could tell, has taken some damage already.
Okay.
You can see maybe he's got a pretty bad limp that he's bleeding from, and it looks like he's got a head wound.
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Quentin, and he gets +2 to his AC for the duration of 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, Vimus, you can see the battle going on behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that there are about 8 centaurs that have very basic weapons, and there is a rift. You see that 4 of the centaurs are trying to fight these floating monsters that look really similar to what you're fighting, but maybe about the size of a dog. But they're
Not 2 elephants.
not 2 elephants,
Okay.
about the size of a dog, but they're floating in the air. And 4 of the centaurs are trying to fight those off, and the other 4 are trying to close the rift, but nothing really seems to be happening. And you hear Quentin shouting, "You have to feel it in your soul. You have to really get in touch with what you're doing," and like trying to describe how to close rifts while he's fighting this other monster.
Okay.
And enemy 1 is going to continue to look for Vimus, the main guy. So another eye maybe appears on its back. You see it scanning. I need to do a wisdom check to try to find you. A 12 does not beat your hide. It does not find you. And so it decides instead to breathe out, and a fog kind of appears. Breathe out, and a fog appears all around it. And you start seeing Quentin immediately start coughing as kind of like a purplish blood starts to form in his mouth. And that brings us up to Vaso.
Okay. How far away am I from this Denoa?
How about this point? You're about 50 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to run up. See, I can cover 40. I want to get like just outside the fog.
Okay, it's just outside the fog. So we'll say the fog stretches out about 30 feet.
Actually, I'm going to go over by, like, how far away am I from Quentin?
Coming up behind Quentin. So you'd be, if you move your 30 feet forward, you'd still be about 20 feet away from Quentin, who's in melee combat.
Okay.
You probably want to stop just short of the fog, though, so you'd be about 30 feet from Quentin.
I'm gonna yell out for Quentin. It's like, Quentin, get out of the fog. Come towards my voice.
You'd see a startle come from Quentin, but it would just be very short until you would see him readjust. You'd be like, oh, I recognize this voice. And he will use the disengage action, so he's keeping his front to the enemy, but see that light shield come up. And now that you guys are close enough, both Vaso and Nomis, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Ooh, not perceptive.
2.
All right, now that you guys see where the shield comes from, but you see the shield pop up and he starts to step backwards. And that's going to be Vaso's turn, so Nomis. Unfortunately, Quentin is no longer within 5 feet of the monster.
But this gaseous thing is around.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to dash out from behind my rock. I guess if the monster is at 12 o'clock, Quentin's at 6.
Yep.
I'm going to go to 9 o'clock. So I'm on the side of them.
Okay, sounds good.
So I picture Vaso's behind Quentin.
Behind Quentin, yep.
And I'm going to use my sword and use my gust of wind to
Oh, you're
blow
trying to-
out all the gaseous vapor.
All right, so you're going to try to just blow the gas away.
Yeah, so it says a line of strong wind, 60 foot long and 10 feet wide, blasts from you in a direction you choose. Each creature that starts its turn in that line must succeed on a strength saving throw, be pushed 15 feet away.
All right, so you're either
The
going
gust disperses gas or vapor and extinguishes candles, torches. So I'm trying to just...
It's a 10-foot line, so you're going to use the 10 feet in front of the monster, between the monster and Quentin.
You said it was like a circle, right?
Yep.
So I just pictured me trying to cast this gust to blow the circle away from Quentin.
Yeah, but your gust is a 10-foot wide, right?
60 feet long, 10 feet wide.
But so 10 feet wide,
Yeah.
but the circle that it's in is 30 feet. So you can't move everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to get away from Quentin.
Okay, yeah, so you can focus on the front,
Yeah.
and you get that poison away from Quentin and Vaso.
Yes.
That works for me.
Okay.
That is your action. You have a bonus action.
Well, I guess I technically dashed.
So you have a move then. You can move.
Okay, let me move over
There you
there.
go. And you blow the gas away from in front of the creature.
Yep. And then my bonus action, I'm going to dash back behind my boulder.
Okay, so you dash behind your boulder. Sounds
Yep.
good. Woods brings us up to you.
Nothing really.
Nothing really happened.
Centaurs are fighting smaller versions of this
Okay.
thing, and the centaurs are trying to close a rift. And Quentin's trying to tell them how to close a rift.
Do I hear them talk about closing a rift?
You do.
Can I close the rift? Can I just one-shot it?
You would have to get line of sight, so you just have to kind of move.
Okay.
You'd have to move down the river a little bit, and then you would see that there's a rift that's about probably 4 dice big.
Okay. It's fine. I can take it.
Okay.
It was what, D6?
D6. And it is going to be 4 D6 right now.
11 and 3 and 5 is what?
11, 3, and 5, 12, 19.
No, 19.
19. I'll close it.
All right. So the rift gets closed as your action. You get a move, you get an action, you still have a bonus action.
I'm going to cast Hell of Thorns for the next time I shoot my bow.
Okay, sounds good. Enemy 2, now that the rift is closed, all 8 of the centaurs can engage the floating monsters. So they're going to start doing some damage to the monsters because they can actually coordinate a little bit. From their battle, just hearing them trying to shout at each other, you put together they do not have military training. They at best would have hunting days, like hunting in their youth type of training. But they do still manage to deal some damage to them, so some progress is getting made. But then Woods and Nomis, you hear kind of in a whisper, you should just walk down the road more. You'd be safer away from them, as that voice comes from one of those floating monsters. And all of a sudden, all 8 of the centaurs stop fighting and they just start walking down the road.
I'm going to make eye contact with Vaso and kind of shake my head like, you know what's going on.
I don't know. Why did they stop?
I don't know.
Quentin is going to reach into his bag and he pulls out a golden shard. Now he's right next to Vaso, so you see this. Reaches to his bag and he pulls out a golden shard. And you see it turn into a spear that Quentin then throws at this large double elephant creature.
What?
So let's do a throw.
You should have stayed in the order. Look at all the cool stuff they did.
It sticks into him, and you see that it damages the monster a little bit more than his previous attacks were doing it. Not quite enough to kill the monster, but enough that that was a pretty solid hit. The monster is then going to start moving away from Quentin and Vaso towards a rock, now that he kind of knows what's behind said rock. And I need Vimus to make a Constitution saving throw as this monster peers around the rock with multiple eyes and finally fixates on you.
All right.
DC's 13.
Do I get to add my...
You get to add your Constitution. Yep.
It's a 13.
Do you have any saves for it or no? Like proficiencies? I don't remember what the proficiencies are. For
no,
it.
it's charisma and dexterity is what I have.
So with the 13, ties go to the attacker. So you take 16 psychic damage, and you feel your legs kind of freeze in place in fear. So you'll have disadvantage attacking this creature next time. That's basically what that means. And you don't want to move closer to it.
I guess a technical question. So as a bard, I have as an action for counter charm. I can play to have advantage on a saving throw versus being charmed or frightened.
Ooh, you are frightened. So how does that work? Is that a reaction?
It says as action, but similar to the unsettling words.
You were going to make that a bonus action?
I think we made it an action or a reaction.
Oh, yeah. We'll make it... Yeah, I can have you do your reaction if you want to try to get advantage on that.
13.
13? You already rolled 1, though, so pick that first one that you rolled.
Let me just re-roll.
Yeah, re-roll 1.
So just re-roll 1. Okay, I'm using my cat dice. No.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter.
So you're terrified, and you took 16 psychic damage.
Yep.
That brings us up to Vaso. This creature moved about 10 feet away from you now.
Can I see it now? Is the dust away gone?
Yeah. Vimus did a good job pushing all the debris away.
I will go up to it and swing.
All right, sounds good.
15.
15 ties. Ties go to the attacker.
8 damage.
All right. It's
And-
starting to shake a little bit.
Miss.
Crit fail or just a miss?
No, just the 2.
I
Yeah.
have to ask with also
Um,
every time.
But does Soph get a turn?
Soph does get a turn. I'm going to let you control Soph.
Yeah, Soph is going to float up. And now that Soph sees just Denoa, he's going to... Actually, I have a question.
Yep.
So it says for Fire Breath, if recharge 5-6. What does that mean?
So at the start of your turn, you would roll a d6. And if you roll a 5 or a 6, they are able to regain their fire breath.
Okay.
At this point, it's the first time after a short rest, they have their fire breath.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so they're going to do Fire Breath again.
Okay. I need to roll a dexterity saving throw as a giant blob monster, so he's going to fail. So go ahead and roll the fire damage.
A 7d6, so I'll roll it this time. 9 plus 6 is 15, 22, and then one more. 23.
All right. Soph lets out a large fire breath that just ignites the top of this monster and then flies off. And Vaso, you had already hit it once and saw that it started to kind of shake. And then you start seeing it pulsate in and out, in and out. And you hear like a high-pitched squealing sound. What are you going to do with that information?
High-pitched squealing sound?
Yep.
I think it's
Kind of
about
like a tea kettle.
I think it's about to explode, so I'm going to like run away from it.
Okay, I'm going to give you advantage on your dexterity saving throw. Unfortunately, since Nomis is terrified, you're just standing.
I'm also behind a boulder.
You're just
kinda-
standing there at this point.
Do you get a 1?
I rolled 2 2s again.
Oh my gosh, 2-2.
All right, this monster explodes out, dealing 24 necrotic damage to anybody that failed, which is both of you guys.
Sweet.
Golly.
And
And,
then
then
you
Woods
see
and
that
Soph are left on their own.
And then you see that there are multiple black shards laying on the floor. And we're currently out of combat as Quentin is catching his breath and starts running down the road at some centaurs that are just moving quickly now down the road.
Are the smaller things still up?
They are, and they are just behind those centaurs that are fleeing the battle
Wait, why are we out of combat?
because there's nothing physically attacking you right now.
But there's
Oh.
the smaller dog-like things.
We can stay in order if you want, but
Oh, I don't care. I want to follow Quentin. I'm going to run after him.
we need to save them.
Okay.
I don't know why they're fleeing, but they don't know how to handle these monsters. Thank you for closing the rift.
Yeah, how are you? Like, why are you here?
We can talk after we save the citizens.
Okay. Sorry, explain to me one more time what we're looking at.
So there are 8 centaurs
Okay.
that are mostly in civilian clothes with
Okay.
basic weapons.
Okay.
They were fighting 4 basically dog-sized floating blobs.
Okay.
And then for some reason, they just all stopped attacking it and started more or less jogging down the road.
Okay. And the blobs
Oh.
are gone.
Blobs are following them.
I'm gonna run and shoot one of the blobs at the same time. Oh, and I have Hell of Thorns casted.
Okay,
For my last
for,
turn.
for previous one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could shoot one of the blobs that's in the back of the pack.
25 to hit.
25 hits, believe it or not.
All right, I have 14 regular damage, and then in addition to that, I need everything in a 5-foot area to make a dexterity saving throw.
It's just going to be this one. But
That's fine.
3.
They fail,
It's not quite anticipating being attacked. All
What the?
and they get 4 more damage.
right, so how much total damage is that?
What is
18.
18?
18? All right. And then you're just moving down, so trying to close the distance.
Yeah, and I get one more.
Oh, yeah.
Attack. Crit fail.
All right.
I'm gonna roll my 100.
Sinister.
Yeah, roll your D100.
Sinister laugh.
I have an idea. If the D100 plays out, we'll see.
I did 2 percentile dices, so it's either 43 or 34.
Okay. I mean, they're both going to be the same for what I want. You go to try to shoot your second shot, and you trip, and you accidentally shoot Quentin in the foot.
Oh. Oh my Quentin! Now I'm and I face plant on the ground.
Yeah, as you trip afterwards. How much damage did you do, though?
11.
11? Okay. As you trip and fall to the ground, you pick yourself up, but you sense a happiness in the back of your mind. And that's going to bring us up to enemies 2. The one that you shot is going to stop running with the pack and turn to face you. And you've just recently saw Dimension Door, so it works out perfectly that you're looking at it, all of a sudden it's just right on top of you. And it reaches in, transforms its body into a fist, and punches Woods that's on the ground. A critical, so 12 bludgeoning damage. You just get pummeled into the ground that you're already laying on.
And I'm so out of it anyway, based on
What just happened? And that brings us up to Vaso. One of the monsters turned to face you and let the other 3 continue to go with the citizens.
I'm going to run past that monster and try to chase down the other 3.
Okay. Yeah, you can keep moving. They are jogging. So I'm going to say you're having trouble keeping pace with centaurs. So you're not necessarily making ground, but maybe you're not losing ground if you're using your dash action.
Okay.
So you can't attack if you want to keep up with them.
I can attack?
Yeah, to keep up with them, you need to move and use dash as your action.
Okay. Oh,
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, I'll keep going.
Okay, sounds good. No miss.
I guess I'm going to dash and try to get behind this thing, punching Woods.
Okay. I'd say you can easily get to that point. You're no longer feared now that that creature exploded.
So do I have advantage since Woods is there?
You don't have advantage, but you can have your sneak attack. You get +2 for flanking.
All right, so I'm just going to roll. You get a +2.
Yep, +2 for flanking since it's enemies on both sides.
18.
18 hits.
So I do get my sneak attack.
You do get your sneak attack.
Okay. So 9 with my rapier, another 5.
Okay. I'm going to say these ones don't have nearly as much health. So with that, it starts to pulsate.
I know what that means. I'm going to
high-pitched teapot starts to sound.
I'm going to pull you up and just say we got to run.
Okay.
You guys both
I'm so out of it.
You guys both get advantage on your dexterity saving throws since you're helping. We'll say you're just a straight roll, no disadvantage. You get advantage.
It's a dexterity saving throw?
Yep. So Woods is just a straight dex save.
21.
Okay.
19.
19. All right. Well, we'll say you both get away from this one. This one's no half damage for a fail. So it explodes.
Does Quentin go down?
Quentin just kept running. He didn't stop to help
with
you.
an arrow in his foot.
It's a little bit slower, but he's still moving forward, trying to catch up to his civilians. And then that brings us up to Woods.
I just am gonna
Dust yourself off. We gotta go help.
No, you're right. Yeah, let's go. And what's the thing making this noise?
The high-pitched, like, teapot noise, that's the death of these creatures that you're attacking.
Okay, gotcha.
So when they die, they overheat, basically, is what's happening.
When they die?
Yep.
Okay, so we've killed
2.
Two?
You killed the big one, and you killed one small one. 3 of the other small ones are riding off into the distance, trailing their centaurs.
Okay, I guess we're gonna get back at it and start running, and I'm gonna do the same thing and fire 2 more arrows.
Okay.
16 and 20.
The 16 misses, the 20 hits.
12 damage.
All right. This will go on for a little bit of time. Basically, what's going to happen is each time you pick one off, it's going to turn to face you guys so the other ones can get further away.
Gotcha.
For just fast forwarding through this, I'm going to do 3 rolls of 2d8s. 1, 2, 3. So 11 damage.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
I probably, during this, would have casted Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna get us through the
combat. No, that's fine. I don't have that.
You don't have that much left.
I don't have 11 damage left. Yes,
7 bludgeoning damage for Vaso and 7 bludgeoning damage for Nomis. At this point, you guys aren't going to get caught up in any more of the explosions because you know they're coming.
Yep.
Plus, only 1 more attacked you. The other 2, about, we'll say, half a mile down the road, you find that there are 6 civilians still alive that are kind of battered and bruised, 2 floating golden shards, and then 2 floating dark shards from the enemies. So what you put together is the enemies tried to move them away from the pack to isolate the weak, attack them, but they didn't have the numbers in order to kill everything. We finally got up to him. That's good. We need all the help we can get back at Black Bay Harbor. This is Quentin talking now.
Yeah.
Woods, thank you so much for your help. And then he pauses, sees Nomus. He just puts his stuff down and slowly starts to hug Nomus. And you see him start weeping a little bit. They found you. That's so exciting. Welcome back, brother.
And I'm not going to go into it, but I'll hug him back. I think I'm with Nomus enough to embrace a friend. So
And he doesn't want to let go for a little while.
it's fine.
I'm going to walk over and also hug them. I'm just going to add to the hug.
Sounds good. So you guys are kind of hugging each other. Vasa, what are you doing?
Vasta's just sitting down because he's out of breath from running. Just trying to catch his breath. And
Sounds good. As you are sitting trying to catch your breath, you see that Soph lands in front of the centaurs and has a stick in its mouth.
Oh.
Like, puts it in front of the centaurs and
Play.
nudges it closer. And one of them picks it up and throws the stick. And you kind of sense that this is one of the centaurs that Soph knew.
Okay.
So for the time being, the centaurs are playing with Soph, kind of like you would play with a dog off in the corner. So you guys have plenty of time to talk with Quentin if you want.
I do.
Yeah. What's going on at Black Bay Harbor?
Oh, I guess you guys are out of the loop. We're collecting all of the people that can cast magic. The Harbinger has said that he knows a way to fix the spell, but he needs the assistance of more people. He needs more magical beings. So he tasked us with going to each of the remaining great cities and retrieving anybody and anyone that can help.
And you believe him? Like, you believe the Harbinger God that...
I mean, the world's falling apart. We can't continue this way. So it's tricky. I know that he doesn't like you, and he turns to Vaso, or you, and then turns to Nomus.
Everybody
Guess
likes
he's
Nomus.
unsure about you since Vive was helping us for a while, and he didn't really dislike Nomus. I don't know.
Vi was helping the Order.
Yes, Vive was pretending to be your brother, helping look for Nomus, or the people that killed Nomus specifically. That's the story that Damien was saying.
Mm.
Yeah, remember that Quentin also was your informant, so he does know about Damien being the professor and that type of stuff.
Okay.
Trying to remember to remind the listeners also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so when you say fix the spell, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's easier to show. And he pulls out some golden shards. He's like, these are known as the shards of the faithful. He's been training an elite force to use the shards of the faithful as tools for ourselves. Nomus, you don't remember this, but Vaso and Woods, go ahead and roll a history check.
16.
19.
Okay, you would both remember that when the attack happened on Black Bay Harbor, the day that Nomus was taken, Benson was seen flying around on golden shards, and he was picking up golden shards from the ground and using them as arrows and spears. Vasa, you just saw Quentin do the same thing with some of these shards of the faithful from his pouch. He says he's creating an elite force of individuals that have this ability to manipulate the golden shards. We're going to be tasked with going in and repairing the fallen pillars so that we can have our points of interest returned for our great spell.
So wait, you don't want the pillars to fall? You need the pillars erected?
We need the pillars in order to cast the spell to split our worlds again.
Wait, hold on. And she's not like pacing. So the Harbinger wants to split the worlds again? We're already split.
Well, the worlds are colliding. From what he's saying, the worlds are colliding and he wants to re-separate them. If you think about it from...
But then we won't have... What happens to Dorma? What happens to all the people there and the horrible world that it is?
I mean, not everybody knows about what's going on over there, but he's saying that it will go back to the way it was. There'll be peace again in the land, like there was for thousands of years.
But also, no, because because they have parts of our emotion here and we have parts of their emotion. So if you split that, we're halves. We're not complete people.
Yeah, I think he's trying to return back to the
only way to do that is to bring them together. And she kind of stops because she can't believe she's actually saying that. But she's starting to believe that now. There's got to be a way to safely bring the worlds together.
I don't think the Harbinger has any interest in that.
How does my Vive side feel about that?
The Vive side, you start feeling panic
Yeah.
when you start putting together that the Harbinger has a plan in order to resurrect his spell. Since you guys have been working on breaking that spell for Vive's entire life.
So what's
I
his,
guess since the Night Circle.
when Vive hears bring the worlds further apart, what does that mean for Vive? Like what's going through his head of like
I think Vive
more
I think
know how to
Vive would
describe
be nervous that his soul would be split again. That Vive part of him would end up back in Dorma
permanently?
like it was. The part that stood out to you, Vive, was when Quentin had said it'd be like it was before, where the worlds were split.
So
So I think
will we be torn apart?
that's the connection Vimus would make and would look at Woods and say, so you might change.
So great. So our options are we help the Harbinger God and split the two worlds definitively, and those who have already merged get ripped apart, or we help the other gods and goddesses and fell the pillars and cast a new spell that merges everyone together. So these are our options.
Do you think the Harbinger is who Luch is afraid of?
Yes.
The force that's attacking?
Yes.
Go ahead, Woods, and roll a history check.
16.
You remember when just recently, when you shot Quentin, in the back of your mind, you sensed a little bit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So you're putting together that the goddess is afraid of both the Harbinger and this elite force. So she was elated when you shot one of them. And you kind of hear in your back of your mind, kill him. He threatens our plans.
Quentin, I don't think we can help you. I think I have to go.
I trust you guys. I've been your informant. I'm trying to pass along information. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do, but I also know that I needed to be in the middle of it. I needed the information. I don't know if I'm going to help the Harbinger or not. I honestly can't tell you one way or the other at this point. And you see that he's also very conflicted. He doesn't have all the information you guys have, but he has enough being as the informant and talking with Bonnie and that type of stuff.
So I think the four of us are probably in the same boat.
Yeah. Was gonna take a couple steps back. Like she's starting not to trust herself because she's hearing some things in her head. She's feeling some good feelings, and she doesn't want to hurt her friend. So she's just gonna kind of put some distance between the two of them. Quentin, I don't know if what Lucha has planned against the Harbinger God is the right one, but I think it's closer to the path of what we need to figure out. We need to figure out some way to safely merge these worlds together that doesn't collide it into a catastrophe, but also doesn't rip it apart. And I think that's what the three of us are trying to do.
Okay, I will continue on to Black Bay Harbor, maintaining my position, and I will not speak of this.
As will we.
I think Nomis, seeing Quentin, would ask how Bonnie and Benson are doing, as he's seeing him associating all of his other allies that he had in Black Bay Harbor, those two being his biggest ones, I think.
He would let you know that Bonnie continues to work with Captain Brandon's crew, and from their communications, she seems like she's found her place. Which you're happy to hear, because if you guys remember, Bonnie was from the human world and her world had fell. So she was always a little bit mopey, dark, depressed, didn't know her place because there wasn't that many humans. And she found Captain Brandon's crew. So she sensed that she's found her place. And then Benson, the High Lord Commander,
I remember that.
is very devoted to the Harbinger. He is in direct communication with the Harbinger and the spearheading the operation to revive the spell.
How do you think he would react seeing us? Do you think he would see us as enemies or allies at this point, based on everything that you know?
Benson, to put it bluntly, is the perfect soldier. If the Harbinger says you're an enemy,
We're an enemy.
he's going to see you as an enemy.
I was afraid of that.
He thinks he's doing the right work as his god commands.
And I don't think Nomus would fault him for that.
I don't think anyone will fault him for that.
Because we all know
We're all
Benson's we all thought he was, the best of us.
Yep.
So.
And we're also kind of all doing the same thing.
It's just conflicting sides.
Yeah. It's just not that easy.
As you guys are having this somber conversation, you just hear jovial laughter coming from the centaurs and Soph, as now Soph is like rolling on top of one of the centaurs and like pinning it and then flipping around and the other way around, and they throw the stick and just having a blast. And that kind of distracts you. And Quentin takes the distraction. He's like, okay, well, I think at this point we'll part ways. I will keep Bonnie informed if I can. And I have no hard feelings against you guys. I honestly hope we meet in the future as friends.
Same. And I'm going to reach out and shake his hand.
And then with that, they start walking down. Quentin gathers his people. And you guys, I assume, will just let him continue before you just immediately start walking the same direction.
Yeah.
Before he leaves, though, I would play my flute and try a different
Button.
and happen to cast Mass Cure Wounds
Yep. That works for
on
me.
everybody.
Hallelujah.
A wave of healing at a point. Choose up to 6 creatures. So.
That's amazing. We just get all of our hit points back?
No, it's
Oh.
3d8 plus 7.
Oh.
Why don't you just roll it and then we'll let everyone use that same.
Okay. So 2,
Oh, great.
3,
So 5,
1.
6 plus your spellcasting modifier.
13.
13. Everyone gets 13 back.
It's a great thing about D&D.
Yep. Sometimes the rolls are with you, sometimes they're not. Quentin feels it and is grateful.
Cool.
As Quentin's walking away, he gets all the centaurs up and they're moving. And just when they're about out of earshot, you hear, oh, and a centaur starts passing him down. He's like, I must have dropped my coin purse somewhere.
So,
As this story pulls on your soul, in the end, we hope it is full.
Hey guys, it's Mike, your host and Dungeon Master at Carriage Rest Tales. I just want to say thanks for taking the time to listen to our podcast. It really means a lot to us. If you are enjoying the content and you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review. It's really going to help us grow our listenership and be able to reach more people. I also want to give a special thanks to Tabletop Audio for providing the background music for today's episode.